Optico Chomurana dollar. Hey!
What's up and welcome, guys. I'm Luke Martin with ChopsticksTravel.com, and today I am in Athens, Greece. This is our first time here, and this will be the start of our European tour. It's a very short tour, but we are super excited. So we got some amazing places to eat some traditional Greek food picked out today, and I'm really excited to bring it to you guys. I would love to know what you think of this video, so make sure you stay tuned to the end because we're gonna be eating so much good stuff. So let's go. We are at our first location today for breakfast, and although breakfast actually isn't a very popular affair here in Greece, there certainly is some dishes that are classics that can be eaten at all times of day, and one of those certainly is Greek yogurt. So we have ordered up a massive chunk of Greek yogurt, and this is just looking incredible. So we're at a very popular restaurant called Stani, and it's been open since 1931, and they specialize in Greek yogurt. So we ordered the sheep's milk yogurt, and then it is topped in the traditional way with honey and a small mountain of walnuts, and is kind of just presented a little bit sloppily, but it just looks absolutely delicious. So I am totally ready to devour this right now. At this restaurant you can order your yogurt either cow milk or sheep's milk, and as I mentioned, this is the sheep's milk, and we ordered the traditional with honey and walnuts. So I'm gonna grab a big chunk of the yogurt here, make sure I get some walnuts, and that it almost feels like a solid in my spoon. So this is gonna be an awesome bite. It is not even dripping off my spoon. It is so thick in consistency. Let's try it out. Ooh, oh yeah. Oh, that's so good. That just kind of takes my mouth for a flavor ride. And the first thing that hits your tongue is the sourness of that yogurt. It's almost a little bit tart. And then next is the super sweet kind of gooiness of that honey, and then finishing it all off with a nice crunch and nutty flavor from that walnut. Literally almost a solid. You can just break off a small piece here, and that is just creamy. Creamy does not explain that. Oh, so good. We were actually just recommended something else that this restaurant serves, and this is called antogala, and it is the top cream. So the skimmed off the top, and then just check out how much honey is on there. There is a ridiculous amount of honey. It is kind of just drowning the cream underneath there. And this is just a thing of beauty. That honey is just golden. Oh, and this looks incredible. So this is not yogurt, this is the top cream, and apparently you cannot have this anywhere else but in Greece. So let's try this out. And oh man, there is so much honey. That is gonna be a sweet bite. And it is sort of kind of made a casing around my spoon. Just check that out. Okay, let's try that. Oh, that is totally different, completely separate than the flavor of the yogurt. That is much sweeter, but there is a lot of honey on there. That honey is just quality that you can taste that is so delicious. And no sourness like the yogurt. It is a very, very smooth, very like velvety cream. Okay, I'm gonna go in for one more bite. Try to get some more of the cream. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, it's so like almost fluffy a little bit. It's just really kind of silky smooth, runs in your throat, and then the honey kind of encases the whole top cream. Oh, that is incredible. Athens Central Market, just taking a walk around, and it's really just incredible to see where all of those fresh ingredients come from that we will be eating throughout our stay here in Greece. So we just finished exploring the Central Market here in Athens, and that was absolutely incredible. It's such a display of all the ingredients, and even the vendors are just putting on kind of a show by screaming out all their products. And I can definitely not think of anything I would rather have right now than a cup of coffee. So we have come to a very popular place called Mocha to have some traditional Greek coffee. So we just ordered them up and we are waiting for them to come out. So our Greek coffee has arrived, and basically Greek and Turkish coffee are the same. The method of preparation is the exact same. They finely grind the coffee beans and then mix with water, so it's unfiltered coffee. But the way that this cafe does it, Mocha, is really interesting. It is the traditional way of making Greek or Turkish coffee, and they do it by heating it very, very slowly in sand. So they have the hot sand, which very slowly kind of simmers the coffee, but they never get it to the point of boiling, just to a very slight simmer. So it is actually only stirred one time, and then once the froth starts to kind of reach the top of the pot, it is taken out and then poured into our cup. So here we've got a beautiful cup of Greek coffee. It seems that they've poured a little bit of the froth down in the bottom, but the main part of the coffee is served in this, and this is called a briki, which is I believe it's brass pot, and this is the traditional Greek pot of serving Greek coffee. So I'm gonna pour mine in and just check out how thick that is. Oh man, that looks good. And there is quite a bit of coffee in there. All right, so let's try it out. It should be nice and hot. Oh yeah. Oh man, that is like a punch in the face. That is so strong. That is like battery acid. That'll just completely hit you. But it is a little bit bitter, and since it's unfiltered, you can kind of taste the coffee grinds or feel them in there. So it's a little bit kind of silty. Let's try another drink. And it's nice and like frothy in the top, and that's what I really like about it. Served in this very, very small cup. Oh yes. Oh man, that's so good. It is almost like slightly acidic, a little bit sour almost, and just bitter, and then kind of chocolatey. It's just a complete like dimension of flavors. There's so many things going on there. That's delicious. This is the perfect way to wake up. This is such a strong coffee, and actually at the bottom of the briki you can see there are kind of like the coffee grinds, and then on the outside here you can see some of the sand that it was heated in. So this is a really cool spot, doing it the traditional way, using the sand to heat the coffee, and it is certainly not just a gimmick, because this cup of coffee is delicious. It's so thick and powerful, and actually they've served it with a sweet, I think this is a Turkish delight. It's got powdered sugar on the outside, so let's take a bite of that. Oh, so it's lemon flavored. It's lemon flavored, and it has powdered sugar on the outside. A light, sweet, and it complements the coffee very nicely. And this is such a cool little cafe right on the side of the street outside of the Central Market here in Athens. We are loving this day so far, and we're gonna continue eating, so let's keep going. We are at our next location today, and we are back inside of the Central Market here in Athens, and we are right inside of the meat aisle, and we are at our next location. This place is extremely popular. It is called a Pyrus Tavern, and we're gonna go have some good Greek food. sitting down the restaurant now, and this is such a cool little spot right inside of the market. It's a very working class restaurant where you can come and enjoy some very nice home-cooked style Greek food. And what they specialize in here is called patsas, which is basically the intestines of the pork and everything, the stomach, and kind of all mixed into a soup. And we have a big plate of it here, and it smells incredible. This is a very popular dish, especially if you are hungover. Apparently it's a good cure. We've got some bread here, and then also we've got the Greek salad, traditional salad, and then some house white wine, and then all kinds of different toppings for the patsas. So let's dig in. So as you can see, all of the organs are very finely chopped here in the patsas, and also it's sort of like a creamy looking, kind of milky yellowish broth. So I'm gonna try it first without any of the toppings and just get the natural taste. It's almost creamy. All of those organs are extremely tender, but that definitely needs to have some toppings. So the first thing I think this needs is some pepper, so I'll put some of that on and be very generous with it. Should be good. And then also over here we've got some chili peppers, sort of dried chili flakes. Should be good. We'll put those on. There we go. And then over here we have some lemon. So definitely give a nice drizzle of lemon on top. This is a lemon and garlic vinegar. So that looks awesome. I'm going to give a hefty serving of that on top here. And that'll give it some acidic and garlic flavors. So mix it around a little bit. Oh, and I can smell that garlic vinegar that has extremely strong garlic smell to it. And oh man, this is looking incredible. It may not look that appetizing or sound that appetizing, but honestly, it's just about the way that they prepare it. If it's cooked right, it's certainly delicious, so let's try it. Oh yeah, spicy from those chili flakes, and now there's a strong garlic flavor from that vinegar. There is like a little bit of like a gaminess, so you can definitely taste like there's some meat and some intestines in there, but it kind of complements it because it's a really rich broth. That's nice. You should not leave Greece without eating horiatiki, or Greek salad. It is definitely one of the classics. And here in Greek, they do it a little bit differently than you might know. They serve it with a massive piece of feta. Just, that's a whole chunk of feta. So I know in a lot of other countries where you get Greek salad, they will crumble the feta over top, but no, not here in Greece. And then there's just so many fresh vegetables, and these are not finely chopped. These are coarsely chopped. So we've got some big cucumbers underneath there, some massive chunks of tomato, some onions, olives, and we've actually got some green peppers on top here, and then drizzled in a ton of olive oil and then sprinkled with oregano. So this just looks so good. This is such a fresh looking dish. Okay, I'm definitely going in for a piece of feta on my first bite, and because these pieces are so big, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get everything in one bite, so I'm just gonna go for a cucumber and some feta. Oh yeah, that's so good. So that feta cheese, it's a little bit crumbly, but once you start to chew it, it turns very creamy. So it's either made with just sheep's milk or sheep and goat's milk, and then topped with all that oregano, giving it a nice kind of herbal flavor, and then everything's just coated in a little bit of olive oil. Okay, I'm gonna break off another piece of feta. Oh man, this feta cheese is incredible, especially here in Greece. Get it from the source, go in, kind of try to get a mixture of a lot of things. There, I got a cucumber, tomato, and some feta. This patsas was incredible. It definitely does have a little bit of like a musk, and you can taste those intestines, but with all those toppings, it's just incredible. Even the wine here is delicious, and the bread. So I'm just using the last little bit of bread here to soak up the last little bit of the patsas. So as I mentioned earlier, breakfast isn't the most popular thing here in Greece, but there certainly is some foods that Greek people love to eat for breakfast. So we had the Greek yogurt, and another very popular and common snack is the Greek pie. So we just went to a very popular pie shop called Ariston, and we got two different types of pies. So Ariston is popular for one pie in particular, and that is this. This is the Koulouri, and it's kind of unassuming on the outside. It's just the oval shaped pie, but what is inside is apparently where all the goodness is. So this is just feeling nice and warm, and it kind of feels a little bit flaky and crisp on the outside, and I'm gonna crack this guy right in half. Oh yeah, oh man. And you can see just all that feta cheese on the inside. Check that out. There's feta cheese and butter, and oh man, this smells so good. And this is made with the phyllo dough. So I'm going to bite into this. So that is extremely buttery tasting. The outside is really quite flaky, and that feta cheese on the inside, just check that out. There's a whole layer of feta cheese in there, and that is nice and like sour, a little bit tart almost. Let me take another bite. So now I know why this is such a popular pie, and just check out, there's little chunks of butter in there as well. So it's nice and light, it's easy to eat, it's kind of like airy and like really, really flaky and delicious. And that feta cheese is just the best part. The second pie we bought, which is not as popular as the Koulouri, but still very popular, that is the spanakopita, and this one is quite different. So as you can see, it's sort of like a sandwich, and inside we have a ton of chopped spinach. There is also feta in here, there is egg in here, and I'm not exactly sure, but I think there's a lot of different things going on. And this one feels very like soft compared to the other one, which was more kind of crisp and hard. So I'm gonna bite into this, and this one looks incredible. I could definitely taste dill in there as well. And there's definitely some chopped onions as well. Oh man, that is full of flavor. That is a strong dill flavor, and that spinach gives it kind of like a meaty kind of legume flavor. The bread on the outside is much different than the other one we had. And it's served warm. This is a perfect little breakfast snack.
So, this salami, cheese parmesan.
Cheese parmesan on the outside.
Best dolmadakya, wineless.
Okay.
Only rice, no meat.
No meat, just rice.
Basturma, sujuk, beef sujuk, turkey.
Turkey?
Yes, that's only meat. Okay?
Yep.
This smoked cheese is graviera. This paksimadi, strong bread. Very good.
Okay. Yes, thank you. I love cured meats. It's just such a perfect little snack, and I'm definitely gonna start with turkey. I'm just a big fan of turkey, and it's a one-biter. Oh yeah, that's so good. That is like the ultimate turkey flavor, and kind of like a little bit smoky, but really just kind of a pure meat flavor. Okay, that turkey was incredible, but next I'm gonna try which is probably their second most popular, and that's the Souvlaki, and it's smaller cut, but that looks really good. You can see it's kind of like marbleization going on in there, and then there's a crust on the outside. That's definitely spicy. It almost kind of tastes like paprika. You can definitely tell that there's like chili in there, but it's not kind of like a burning chili heat. It's more just the roast sort of chili flavor. And next is the pastorma, which we already tried, and this looks really good. Oh, that's such a rich, rich flavor. It's really salty, but it just has like a really nice meat, kind of dry cured flavor. Oh, aged really nicely. So I'd have to say that this one is the one I'm most excited about trying. This is the salami with the Parmesan crust, and that is just really cool. I actually had no idea that you could cure meat in Parmesan or any cheese, and so you can see the layer of cheese on the outside, and I love salami. That's awesome. Oh, I love salami. It's probably my favorite. Kind of has like a little bit sort of a sourness, and then you can definitely taste when you bite into the crust of the Parmesan. It's got that like really cheesiness to it. That is awesome. I have to say that's my favorite cut so far. So moving my way through this plate, and next up is the stuffed grape leaves, or dolmadakia. And he said that usually it has meat inside, but this one just has rice. So the leaf is not whatsoever hard to chew through. It kind of just breaks apart, sort of like a piece of spinach. There was definitely some cheese, probably feta, inside of there, and that was extremely like juicy on the inside. A lot of olive oil, and that was, I could taste dill in there as well, but that was like a flavor bomb that just like exploded in my mouth. So make sure you come check this place out, even if you're not going to sample anything. So this place is called Miran Meats, and it is just such a cool shop. We're gonna keep going. Still lots to eat today in Greece, so let's keep going. So definitely one of the most popular, if not the most popular street foods in all of Greece is the Koulouri. So as you can see behind me, there's a guy selling them. So for 50 euro cents, you can get yourself a nice little treat. So let's get one. Alright, we got ourselves our Koulouri, let's go try it out. Okay, so here is our Koulouri. So basically it is a bread stick in a circular shape, and some might say that this is what the precursor to the bagel was, but it is an extremely popular street food here in Athens. You can literally see this at every corner, and it's just a super on-the-go, tasty little snack. And there's not much to it. It's covered in a ton of sesame seeds, and that's just about it. But it looks really good, so let's take a big bite. Very similar to a bagel. So much sesame flavor going on there from the sesame seeds. And it's actually quite dry, very chewy. So this is just a very, very simple snack. Maybe this one isn't as fresh as they come, but still, it's just satisfying and keep you going until lunchtime. So we just ordered up a dessert that is called Loukoumades, and it's pretty popular here in Athens, and it is a deep fried donut. And then we've ordered the kind that is covered with praline chocolate and almonds, and these just look absolutely incredible. So I'm just gonna grab one here and dig in. It feels very crispy on the outside. Oh, if you have a sweet tooth, you're going to like that a lot. So that is actually, I think it's just Nutella chocolate. And then really nutty from those almonds, so those taste incredible with it. But it's extremely crispy on the outside, but very airy and almost like a little bit fluffy on the inside. And they did not hold back on the chocolate. It is completely drenched in that Nutella praline chocolate. So Sabrina and I are even having a hard time finishing these off because they're so sweet. You're definitely gonna wanna have a friend or many to help you finish this. But just check out how much extra chocolate is at the bottom here. So they definitely put a generous helping of it. But these are really good. You just gotta like sweets. Look at that. Oh man. So those Loukoumades are extremely popular with locals, and I can see why. They are an amazing, sweet little snack. So we are getting pretty full, but we've got one more thing to eat today, so let's keep going. souvlaki, thank you very much. And this looks incredible. I'm ready to eat this. So no Greek food tour is complete without the famous souvlaki. So this is maybe one of the most loved foods in all of Greece. And basically it consists of the pita bread on the outside, and then here we've ordered the pork, so he grills it up on this massive kind of column of pork, and then inside we've got onions, tomato, tzatziki sauce, which is like a cucumber yogurt spread, and then actually french fries in there too. And it was a really cool spot we just ordered it from. He actually has an automatic kind of meat slicer. It's sort of like a handheld power tool that he uses to cut the meat off the column of pork, and I've never really seen anything like that. But we've come down to this really beautiful square here in Athens to eat our souvlaki, and this will be the last thing we're eating today on this food tour. So this thing is quite hefty. You can see there's a ton of ingredients in here, especially a lot of that tzatziki sauce. So I'm just gonna kind of try to take a big bite here, try to get everything. I'm not sure if I will, but let's see if I can. Oh yeah. Oh, that's delicious. It tastes very like lightly spiced, the pork. Definitely a lot of salt. It's quite salty. And then those onions in there are nice and like sharp, and tomato gives it a nice kind of acidicness. And then that tzatziki sauce is also a little bit salty, has a nice yogurty sourness, and then kind of a little bit sweet too. And then a nice cucumber flavor as well. And I'm almost losing all my tzatziki sauces, like falling at the side here. So I'm gonna try to get a bite with the french fry. So I'll put this up here. Oh man, this is a sloppy meal, but that is delicious. The pita bread on the outside is sort of like elastic, chewy, almost like a little bit gooey, but that pork in there is definitely the highlight. That is an amazing souvlaki. That's gonna be it for today's video. That was such an amazing Greek street food tour. We did a lot of snacking, and definitely if you come to Athens, you gotta try out some of the foods we had today. The food here is awesome. But unfortunately, we do have to leave Greece today. So there's so many other things we wish we could have tried, especially Youmista and moussaka, but that'll have to wait until next time. We are off to Italy today, so we're really excited to bring you some more videos from our Europe tour, and make sure you guys stay tuned for that and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below if you've ever eaten at any of these restaurants and what you think of them, and we'll see you on the next episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.